So I know a lot of you guys might just be moments away from playing GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S for the first time. But before you do so, you need to know this. This is a huge warning. It appears that Rockstar is forcing players forward. Because once you transfer to a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or S, your account will no longer be available on PS4 or Xbox One. Meaning, if you have friends that are still playing on those systems, you can say sayonara to joining them at all. You'd have to create a brand new character. And I think that's something that Rockstar didn't do a good job of, saying was going to be the case all this time. So this is what happens when you actually choose to migrate one of your characters. It says migrate profile, continue your GTA Online adventure by migrating a previous GTA Online profile to this console. This will delete any existing GTA Online profile data on this console. And then it just says migration is unavailable for PC. So sorry, PC guys, you aren't really getting any of this, and you can't even take advantage of, the new content that Rockstar is introducing. And then there's an alert message that says you're about to permanently remove your GTA Online profile, that's my name, from a previous generation console and move it to this console, overwriting any existing GTA Online data. Any unspent money will also be migrated. Migration can only be done once and cannot be undone. Please confirm you're ready to migrate your GTA Online profile. So I know it says it clear as day there, but I can just see people right now that are excited to try this new version, and they just start pushing buttons. They want to get into online, and then they try and go back and play with their friends on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, and their account's not going to be there. They're going to have to start over, and obviously that would be not great news in any way, shape, or form. So it's just something you need to know. In this case, my account was successfully migrated over. I know there was a lot of people worried because Rockstar said they were going to be cracking down on accounts that either glitched or cheated or did anything along those lines. And it seems like this entire migration process is not really going all that well. There's a lot of bugs that are being reported. Like, a lot of people are reporting that if you had an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 character, you're not getting the option to transfer it over. Some are reporting that characters migrated from the first generation consoles, PS3 and Xbox 360, are not able to migrate it to PS5 and the new Xboxes. Some people are reporting that if you transferred that account to PC, you'll no longer be able to get it on the consoles, which is so weird. So long story short, Rockstar has some explaining to do here. So just be careful. If a lot of your friends are still playing on the older generation, you might not want to just immediately jump the gun and do it. Or if you have like a PlayStation account and an Xbox account, you might want to keep one of them so that you can go back just in case you'd like to do something. You never know, but this is kind of just like a warning and a buyer beware before you migrate your character to expanded and enhanced or the next generation version of GTA 5. Now, since we're talking about things you need to be aware about, let's also do some buyer beware for the 5 new vehicles that Rockstar added today in Grand Theft Auto Online. That's really the only new thing that you can buy. Jumping into the career builder is free. And other than a few miscellaneous stuff, which we'll talk about towards the end, there's not a lot to buy. But just starting with the vehicles on the Legendary Motorsports site, I'm going to give the buyer beware to the Pfister Astron Custom. To me, this seems just so incredibly lazy. Like, what's the difference between this car and the one we got just a couple of months ago, the Pfister Astron? Essentially, it just has the ability to get the HAL Special Works, the HSW bonuses and stuff like that. That, to me, just doesn't do enough to justify a $1.72 million price tag to then have to put even more money into it just to get it different from the one we already have in game. So I would stay away from that. I do actually like the Coil Cyclone 2. I think that's the laziest name of all time. Rockstar was like, man, we really can't think of a name here. What can we call it? The Cyclone 2. Like, that seriously is one of the sucky names of all time. I get it because they're basing it off of the Rimac Concept 1 and Concept 2, but just come up with a better name. That kind of stinks. That's for sure. It's expensive, but if you're going to splurge on one thing, I would say it's this. Buy the Coil Cyclone 2. It's an electric supercar, which obviously makes it very unique. and incredibly fast once you put the HSW features on there. So I would end up going into that. Then over on the Southern San Andreas Super Auto site, for me, the Karen S90 was free, which obviously helps a ton. Otherwise, it's going to be $2 million. That to me seems like a lot of money for a sports car. So if it's not free for you, which it's going to be free for all returning players, you might want to hold off on buying that right now, just because that's pretty expensive. But I do end up liking the Impante Arbiter GT. I think this is one of the best muscle cars we have in the game. It's not overly expensive considering the new sort of price standard for everything in GTA Online. $1.58 million. Again, pricey, but not, awful. So that's the newest muscle car in the game. And then over on the Warstock Cash and Carry side, I would say absolutely not buy the weaponized Ingus. Yes, it has access to the Imani tech. Yes, it has a minigun on top. But there are better weaponized vehicles and there are cheaper Imani tech vehicles. So why combine the two of them right here? Just keep the Ignis as a cool supercar. Why do you have to combine it? It also seems a little bit lazy from Rockstar. They literally just took one of the vehicles and put a, minigun on top of it and then raised the price and put it on a different website. So I'm not super sold on the weaponized Ingus all that much. That's another one that I would ultimately stay away from. The next sort of buyer beware I can give you guys is just be careful when you're doing the HAL Special Works upgrades. Not only is the conversion very expensive, but also all the upgrades are very pricey too. So just don't go ahead and buy all the vehicles and then think to yourself, oh, shoot, in order to get these good, I got to spend another couple $1 million. So just be aware about that. And the only other couple of things I can tell you to really be aware about is the racing suits. They are very expensive. They're like $100, $150, $200,000 each. So don't just go gung-ho crazy buying them, because you will erase your money if you try and buy all of that stuff. So just don't do that. Be cautious here because it is an expensive update, because Rockstar didn't add a lot of stuff. They kind of have to make it pricey, and because it features like better acceleration and performance upgrades, they also kind of have to make it a little bit pricier too, just to make it kind of bougie. But anyways, that is my big warning that you need to know about regarding character transfer and migration, and some buyer beware that I think you need to stay away from as well. I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What do you think about this news that you can't actually transfer your character without losing it on an older generation console? And what do you think of the 5 new vehicles that Rockstar added? What goes on your buyer beware list? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.